Welcome to Healing Gardens, where we're about to transform the way you think about your yard, your food, and your vitality. Right now, outside your window, there's potential waiting to be unlocked, a living pharmacy that regenerates itself year after year, offering compounds science increasingly recognizes as powerful allies against aging. The difference between a typical lawn and a longevity landscape isn't complicated gardening techniques or expensive installations. It's simply knowledge, and it's a nod. Sharing today. Something troubling has happened to our food over the past 50 years. Studies comparing nutrient levels in produce from 1950 to today reveal startling declines, up to 40% less iron, calcium, and vitamin C in common vegetables. The reasons are complex, involving soil depletion, breeding for appearance over nutrition, and the long journey from industrial farms to our tables. Meanwhile, right outside your door, you have the power to reverse this trend completely. When you grow perennial edibles in healthy living soil, you're cultivating foods that often contain nutrient levels exceeding anything available commercially, and these plants keep producing for years, even decades, without replanting. The brilliance of perennials lies in their established root systems, which mine deeper soil layers for minerals annuals never access. Each spring they return stronger, drawing up concentrated nutrition while you're doing nothing but watching. This isn't just convenient, it's transformative for anyone seeking genuine longevity through nutrition. The polyphenols, anthocyanins, and other protective compounds these plants produce to ensure their own survival become our medicine when we consume them regularly. Think of it as borrowing nature's resilience for our own bodies. Let's start with berry bushes, particularly elderberry and aronia, which offer some of the highest antioxidant levels measurable in any food. Elderberries contain anthocyanins that specifically protect blood vessel walls and support cardiovascular health, which is foundational to healthy aging. Research shows regular elderberry consumption correlates with reduced inflammation markers and enhanced immune function. Aronia berries, sometimes called chokeberries, pack even higher antioxidant levels and contain compounds that support healthy blood sugar metabolism and cellular repair mechanisms. Both bushes thrive in most climates, produce abundantly after their second year, and require minimal attention beyond occasional pruning. Plant them in well-drained soil with adequate sunlight, and they'll reward you for 20 years or more. Perennial greens are really changing the way we think about fresh nutrition. Sorrel, for example, is one of the very first greens to appear in spring, and its lemony leaves are packed with vitamin C, vitamin A, and special compounds that help support your liver's detoxification pathways. Walking onions, also known as Egyptian onions, are another great choice. They provide both greens and bulbs all throughout the growing season, and they're loaded with quercetin and organosulfur compounds, which have been linked to a lower risk of cancer and better cardiovascular health. These plants, they establish themselves pretty quickly and spread gradually, adapting to all sorts of conditions, from partial shade to full sun. The real trick is to harvest them regularly, because that actually encourages even more vigorous growth. This way, you end up with a steady supply of fresh, nutrient-dense greens that, honestly, you just can't get from the grocery store. Medicinal herbs like holy basil and oregano are, in my opinion, must-haves for any longevity garden. Holy basil, or tulsi as it's called in Ayurvedic tradition, contains compounds like ursolic acid and rosmarinic acid. These have shown an impressive ability to help modulate stress hormones, protect against oxidative damage, and even support cognitive function. Modern research, really does back up what traditional practitioners have known for centuries. Regular holy basil consumption helps the body adapt to stress, all while protecting cellular structures. And oregano, well, it's not just a pizza herb, it's actually one of the highest-ranked plants for antioxidant activity. It contains carvacrol and thymol, which, by the way, exhibit antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and neuroprotective properties. Both herbs, interestingly, thrive as perennials in many climates. They require minimal water once they're established and, get this, they actually produce more potent compounds when grown in slightly challenging conditions, with full sun and lean soil. Transforming your perennial harvest into daily anti-aging nutrition doesn't have to involve complicated recipes or special equipment. For example, a morning smoothie made with frozen aronia or elderberries, fresh sorrel, and just a few holy basil leaves gives you a concentrated dose of age-defying compounds while tasting vibrant and energizing. The key thing to remember is consistency. These plants work best when they're consumed regularly, not just every once in a while. So, you just blend a handful of berries with banana for sweetness, toss in sorrel for its lemony brightness, and, include holy basil for those adaptogenic benefits. This combination provides anthocyanins for vascular health, vitamins for cellular function, and adaptogens for stress resilience, all working together in a really nice synergy. Elderberry syrup, well, it really represents ancient wisdom meeting modern science. Traditionally, it's been used to ward off winter illness, concentrating elderberry's immune-supporting compounds into a form that stores for months. The process is actually pretty straightforward. You just simmer fresh or dried elderberries with water until it's reduced by half, strain thoroughly, and then add honey equal to the remaining liquid volume. This creates a syrup containing not just antioxidants, but also compounds that actually prevent certain viruses from replicating. A tablespoon daily during cold season, or, twice daily at the first signs of illness, provides some really powerful support. The honey itself contributes antimicrobial properties and trace minerals, making the whole preparation greater than its parts. Perennial green pesto transforms the concept of this Italian staple. Instead of relying solely on basil, combine sorrel, walking onion greens, oregano, and any other perennial herbs thriving in your garden. Add garlic, nuts or seeds, good olive oil, and aged cheese if desired. This pesto concentrates the sulfur compounds from alliums, the antioxidants from herbs and healthy fats that enhance absorption of fat-soluble nutrients. Freeze it in ice cube trays for convenient portions that add genuine therapeutic value to pastas, soups, or spread on bread. You're not just adding flavor, you're incorporating compounds that reduce inflammation support, detoxification, and protect cellular structures from age-related damage. Preservation extends your perennial bounty's benefits throughout the year. Dehydrating oregano and holy basil at low temperatures preserves their volatile oils and therapeutic compounds. Freezing berries immediately after harvest locks in anthocyanins and vitamin C. Fermenting perennial greens creates probiotic-rich foods that support gut health, which is, increasingly recognized as central to healthy aging. These simple preservation methods mean your summer abundance fuels your winter vitality. The transition from lawn to longevity garden doesn't require total redesign. Start by identifying underutilized areas, strips along fences, corners of the yard, or spaces beneath existing trees. Berry bushes create attractive hedges while producing food. Perennial greens fill gaps between ornamentals or create edible ground covers. The secret is thinking in layers, mimicking how forest ecosystems naturally arrange themselves with taller plants providing partial shade for understory species. Companion planting amplifies both plant health and nutrient density. Elderberries thrive alongside nitrogen-fixing plants like clover or lupines, which enrich soil naturally. Oregano planted near berries can deter certain pests while attracting beneficial insects. Walking onions interspersed among other perennials confuse pests with their strong scent, while providing continuous harvest. These relationships create resilient, self-supporting systems that require less intervention while producing more nutrition. So, many people hesitate, believing perennial gardens demand constant maintenance, but honestly, the truth is precisely the opposite. After they're established, perennials require far less work than annuals or lawns. There's no need for replanting each spring, no constant reseeding, and just minimal watering once the roots establish deeply. The main tasks really just involve harvesting, which, let's face it, you want to do, and occasional division or pruning, which actually increases productivity. You know, a well-designed perennial food garden can require less than an hour each week, while still providing you with hundreds of dollars worth of nutrient-dense food every single year. The journey toward a yard that actively supports your longevity, well, it really begins with just a single plant. So, this week, pick one perennial that resonates with you. Maybe it's elderberry for immune support, or sorrel for those fresh spring greens, or even holy basil to help with stress resilience. Go ahead and order it, plant it properly, and tend to it throughout its first season. That single plant, honestly, represents a commitment to yourself and your future vitality. Next year, it returns stronger. The year after, stronger still. Meanwhile, you're, consuming its gifts regularly, accumulating the protective compounds that support healthy aging at the cellular level. Consider the long-term picture. A mature elderberry bush producing 10 pounds of berries annually provides nutrition worth significant money, but honestly, that's not the real value. The real value lies in the concentrated anthocyanins protecting your cardiovascular system, the immune support preventing illness, and, well, the cumulative effect of regular consumption over years. These benefits compound, quite literally. The same applies to every perennial you establish. Each one becomes a living investment in your future health, requiring minimal maintenance while paying dividends in vitality. Imagine 5 years from now, walking through your yard in early morning, harvesting fresh sorrel for breakfast, snipping oregano for dinner, picking berries for your daily smoothie. Imagine knowing that every plant surrounding you actively contributes to your well-being, that your landscape literally nurtures longevity. This isn't fantasy, it's the practical result of decisions you make today. Your yard can be sterile lawn requiring constant inputs while providing nothing, or it can be a perpetual source of age-defying nutrition that gets better every year. If this vision speaks to you, subscribe to Healing Gardens and join thousands discovering the profound connection between what we grow and how we age. Share this video with anyone ready to transform their yard into a fountain of youth. Together, we're cultivating not just gardens, but lifelong vitality, one perennial at a time. Your future self will thank you for every plant you put in the ground today.